Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you an easy method to color safely with grease pencil. Coloring is only possible in draw mode. For this demo, I'm going to color that cute Kirby. My number one rule is to work with layers. Always have your line art layer above your color layer. To color, you will need to use a fill material. By default, the one called solid fill has the property to fill with a gray color. With that material, you can either color manually with the draw tool or within a click with the fill tool. But what I want now is to put some colors. Let's create our color palette. Pull out a new panel and choose Image Editor. Then open your reference. Of course, you don't need a reference, this is just optional. The goal here is to create a single fill material for each color of the character. So create a color by clicking on the plus sign. Then below, click on the material icon, then select the solid fill as model. The next important step is to make this new material created as unique. So don't forget to click on this little number right here. So your material will be renamed as solid fill 0.001. Now just select the color of your choice with the eyedropper and you'll be done. Repeat these same steps to make more colors and get your color palette. For example, with the fill tool and the yellow solid fill, I can color the star. And the cool thing with that method is the instant color change of the material. Very handy for any color adjustment. One by one, I'm creating new fill materials until fully color the drawing. Just focus on creating the base colors only and not the shadows, because later I will show you a cheap method for cel shading in no time. However, the fill tool can be very annoying in some situations, and I have few tips for dealing with. First, the precision. By default it is set on 1. This setting does improve the quality of the filling, so if you do have some inaccuracy, I recommend you increase it until 4. Also, consider to adjust your distance with the drawing before coloring. Being too close or too far can impact the quality of the filling. Another situation is when the fill tool don't operate. This mostly happens when the software detects enclosed lines, and the stroke extension is very handy to solve that problem. To activate it, go to Advanced tab, then on the stroke extension, set a value different than 0. So when you are about to fill, the first click will activate the stroke extension, some blue lines will appear, and by scrolling with your mouse, you can either increase or decrease the extensions. Just extend them enough to fill color. Turn this option on if that problem occurs. Another common case is when you're coloring directly on the line art layer. As you can see, the filling seems very off. This is because the colors are overlaid on the line art and not underneath. To fix it, switch to edit mode. In the material tab, select your line art material and just below the list, click the select button. This option will select the entire line art based on that material. Then in the viewport, right click, go to arrange and select bring in the front. And voila. For the cel shading, create a new layer and set it at the very top to the others. Also, create a new line art material and choose a very flashy color to identify it. Then, on that layer, draw every separation for the shadows. Once again, create a new layer for filling the shadows and set it above the color layer. Change the blend mode to multiply. One more time, create a new fill material and this time choose a very grayish color. One by one, fill all the shadows area. Hide the separation layer and tweak the opacity of the shadows layer at your taste. And finally, I have a little trick to color with transparency. It happens that the software doesn't understand what to fill or not. In this example, instead of having a ring shape, Blender fully color both circles. So to see what I mean, go to the render property and under the film section, tick the transparent box, then switch the viewport shading to render. In that case, the solution is to create a fill material with the activation of the holdout for transparency. This option only works with pure black color. Now, By filling the inner circle with this new material, I finally got that ring shape. I really hope that video will help you more to understand the process of coloring and keep you inspired to create more with grease pencil. And the last word, we are close to reach the 5K on YouTube. You guys went so crazy with the Jean-Claude Van Damme dance. Thank you so much for being amazing and put sparkles on my days. From the bottom of my heart, cheers.